Welcome to our annual chain of giving here at the Greater Boston Food Bank. I'm Catherine D'Amato, the President and CEO. We want to welcome our friends and supporters, and we have so many folks here today from government, from private corporations, from food industry, volunteers, young people that are going to be acknowledged here today. So I want to welcome Governor Baker, who's joining us for the second year in a row. The Attorney General Maura Healey is on her way. You'll probably see her in about 20 minutes come through. And I also want to welcome newly re-elected Mayor Marty Walsh. Congratulations. Honored to have all of you with us today. We also have Jeffrey McHugh, our Commissioner of the Department of Transitional Assistance, and John LeBeau, who's our Commissioner of the Department of Agriculture. One of the things you're going to hear me talk about is where does all this beautiful Massachusetts produce come from? And it comes from our farmers throughout the Commonwealth. We also want to welcome Senator Sal DiDomenico, Representative Russell Holmes, Liz Malia, Representative, let me just make sure I have all of this. Representative Bill Driscoll is here as well, and I think that's good. What's that? Yes, I have him. He's next. Thank you. As you're taking care of him, Representative Cavallo is here with us as well. We also do want to recognize some of our other mayors that are with us. Mayor Stephanie Burke from Malden, Mayor Gary Christensen, and our Boston City councilors that are here. Anissa Asabi-George is here, Matt O'Malley is on his way, and Tim McCarthy. So we want to welcome everybody. Lastly, our state treasurer also is en route from Worcester. She will be with us shortly, Deb Goldberg. We're very fortunate to have so many of our government officials join us today because it takes all of us, that public-private partnership, to really end hunger across eastern Massachusetts. So our vision to end hunger involves all of you. So making sure no one in our state wakes up hungry, it takes all of us working together. And this collective human chain that we're going to put together in a few minutes is quite representative of that, standing side by side, shoulder to shoulder, moving food that feeds people. So today, the food bank works across the 190 cities and towns of eastern Massachusetts. Over 500 agencies receive this food and then directly distribute it to their communities. We constantly need to do more. We have achieved over 50 million healthy meals now of distribution. That's remarkable. And it's a huge accomplishment. Yet the risk for 1 in 8 kids in Eastern Mass and 1 in 10 in general is still very, very high. In fact, more than 1/3 of the food that now we're distributing is this fresh produce. Many of you have heard me say 10, 15 years ago, the Greater Boston Food Bank couldn't move a carrot, not one. And now it's well over 30% of that distribution. So you're talking in nearly 20 million pounds. And when you think of those as healthy foods, fresh foods, and our ability to support our farmers and our growers in that, that makes this a very important fact. And a lot of this is because of a program in the budget called MEFAP, which stands for the Massachusetts Emergency Food Assistance Program. So when we think about that food, I want to thank Governor Baker for your leadership in holding our line there. And I know that's a very tough decision for you to think through how we spend the Commonwealth's money. Commissioner LeBeau, thank you, because our farmers need us, and why not buy them? Why not buy from them? Why not keep it local? We just need you to expand the growing season by about 10 weeks on each side and start growing oranges, if you could, for us. Things that we can't get in Massachusetts, we have to get elsewhere. But everything that we can get from Massachusetts, we will. So that legislation is deeply important. But for all of us, ending hunger is threatened very much by what's going on at the federal level. So no matter what your belief is or who you vote for, that doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is caring for that individual who needs food, and are we taking care of them? So just in food stamps alone, there's a proposal to cut $160 billion over the next 10 years for food stamp recipients. That's tied to the tax bill. So if tax bill passes, we're going to see that kind of dramatic cut. That means we as citizens of the Commonwealth will need to respond to be able to help those. That's nearly 800,000 residents of our state currently receive SNAP. And we know enough that when government pivots, changes, the private sector is asked to respond. Both the private industry, from the food industry, and philanthropy, to be able to make up that difference or hold the line. So we are going to fight to make sure that food stamps stay and that items like breakfast after the bell also get passed in our legislation this year. So turkeys. I will reveal to you that I always wanted to have an advertising campaign with a picture of turkey that said, "Don't be one, give one." But my marketing staff said, no, that's not a good idea. But we have so many generous companies and so much of the food industry, which is a lifeline to us in terms of what we're able to do and how we're able to do it. So there's truckloads of turkeys are going to be unloaded and come in and out of here. There are huge refrigeration units behind you full of them. But today it's just one of 20 truckloads that we're going to unload, that we're going to receive through the holiday season. So alphabetically, because we love all of our donors, I want to list those who have been so generous. Big Y, BJ's Wholesale, Broccoli Associates, CNS Wholesale, Hannaford, MSC Brokerage, Price Right, Roach Brothers, Shaw's and Star Market, Stop and Shop, Wegmans, Walmart, all donating turkeys to the Greater Boston Food Bank. So as I said, it takes a network and it takes us standing side by side, banding together in order to end hunger here. So it's now my pleasure to ask our mayor to join us and to, again, congratulate him on his reelection. Mayor Walsh.
Thank you very much, Catherine. And I want to thank you and the great work that happens here every single day, not just today. And I want to thank all the volunteers that are here today who are going to help unload the trucks. Thank you. I see Wally nodding the head down. Thank you, Wally, for being with us today. It's very exciting to have you here. I also want to congratulate Mayor Burke, who won her reelection as well on Tuesday. So congratulations, Mayor Burke, on your win. I tried to call you yesterday. Her voicemail was full, so you had a busy night. So congrats. And I want to thank the governor and all the elected officials that are here with us today. This is an incredible tradition. Every year what we do here at the food bank and unloading the truck. And you hope that every year that as we unload it, the need gets less and less. And unfortunately, sometimes it doesn't always happen that way. The Greater Boston Food Bank is certainly important in a compassionate organization for giving and making sure that young families have the same things that all of us do. As I was standing next to the governor, I was looking up and I saw the stuffing and I thought to myself how for granted some people take stuffing at a dinner table thinking that it's automatically there. And I started looking over and saw cranberry and then saw the vegetables down here and think about how fortunate we are in life to have what we have. And it's so important that we continue to do what we do here. 57 million pounds of food gets distributed. On an individual meal basis, think about this for a minute, 48.1 million meals come out of this facility. 48 million meals for people, for families, for young kids. The impact that the food bank has on people is absolutely incredible. They partner with our schools. They partner with our soup kitchens. Not only do they provide food, they also provide healthy lives and healthy communities here in Boston and in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. Too many families still face food insecurities. 1 in 9 residents across eastern Massachusetts struggle to have enough to eat. When you think about what we have going on in the city of Boston, in eastern Mass, with growth and economic development, you would think that something like this would not happen today. But unfortunately, it still does. So we know we need to continue to move forward. We need to continue to support this great organization. We need to continue to support the great staff that's here. And again, I want to thank the staff We're all here with you today to help you unload trucks. But most days, I know that there are volunteers here. I want to thank the volunteers that come in every day. But the staff is here all the time. I want to thank you for your great work. I want to thank you for looking out for families. The folks that donated the food, thank you very much. The corporations that are here today who brought employees, thank you very much. The elected officials that are here, thank you very much. To Catherine and the Greater Boston Food Bank, I want to thank you for hosting an incredible event, and I look forward to taking some turkeys off the truck.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'd like now to introduce our governor, please, Charlie Baker.
Thank you, Catherine. Let me just start by saying I was talking to somebody a couple days ago about the fact that I was coming over here for this event, and that then led to a conversation about Ted Cutler, who I think, as many of you know, really put his heart and his soul and a big part of his treasure into this organization, and passed away last year. And we all sort of smiled when we talked about that, because we know how much this organization and this enterprise meant to Ted and to so many others around the Commonwealth. The mayor walked through some of the statistics, which I'm not going to repeat, except to say that when I look around this facility and I think about how much product comes in here and goes out every single day, and how big the network the food bank works with has grown to be and is sustained over time, you have to start with a tremendous amount of appreciation for the work that Catherine and her team and all of the partners that she works with and you work with every single day here in the Commonwealth get done. And I get the fact that we are heading into a holiday season, and as the mayor pointed out, the difference for a lot of people between having a chance to enjoy the holiday season the same way everybody else does is really in many respects a function of millions and millions of meals that are going to be delivered through this organization and this food bank and the partners that it works with over the course of this season. And you should all be enormously proud to be part of this. And we are all enormously grateful for the work that you and so many others who are part of this community do, not just through the holiday season, but all 12 months of the year. And I think for us, I take tremendous pride in the fact that Massachusetts has a lot of great public-private partnerships, and this is another one. And I'm fond of telling a lot of my friends from states that are much geographically bigger than ours that we have more direct sale from farm to table than about 45 other states in the United States. And that's not a per capita statistic, okay? That's literally the amount of stuff, the amount of people in Massachusetts who buy local and grow local and find a way to find each other and to work together is extraordinary. And I know how important the work of Commissioner LeBeau and his team is to this effort. But mostly, Catherine, I just want to say how much I appreciate your reference to the work that's done by the farm community here in Massachusetts, which, you know, a 25-acre farm in Massachusetts may not seem like a lot in parts of the country where farms are hundreds and hundreds and in some cases thousands of acres. But those 25-acre farms in Massachusetts perform and produce on behalf of the people of the Commonwealth every single day. And I really appreciate your mentioning that. And I'm honored and pleased to be here today. I know my chief counsel, Lon Povich, who was deeply involved in this organization when he was at BJ's, never misses an opportunity to be here. And Mayor, I want to congratulate you on your re-election. Yeah, your voicemail is very full. And to all of you who are here, I just want to say how much we appreciate your work on behalf of this great organization, and to the food bank and all of its partners. You are truly a blessing in the Commonwealth, 365 days a year, but you're especially a blessing during this time of year. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Really appreciate the support. And it's time this year, we do this every year, to present what is known as the Nally Award. And the Nally Award was established in 2016 to honor two remarkable young GBF supporters from Westwood, Massachusetts, Dan and Betsy Nally. I first met them when they were 8 and 6. It's hard to believe that they're grown up and college complete and out in the world. But in such, they started to collect in their neighborhood turkeys and bringing them to the food bank. And that initial donation that was about 20 turkeys on the week of Thanksgiving conducted and moved into food drives and turkey drives throughout high schools. And the charity is called Turkeys for America. And they continued to raise money and funds and engaged Jim Perdue. I remember a tractor trailer coming down their street full of turkeys. And to me, the irony is they grew up on a road called Partridge Road. So very funny, right? So the Nally Award recognizes young people who purposefully act to end hunger. And Dan Nally is here today to announce our awardee. Dan. Here he is. There he is. In the crowd, Dan.
Thanks very much, Catherine.
You're welcome.
Great to see you.
Nice to see you.
Yeah, hard to believe, been over 20 years now, and I think we get 36 turkeys the first year, so don't sell us short.
Okay,
It's a little over 20, but
I remember you carrying them in.
yeah, it is. It's incredible to be back here, and you know, yeah, it's wild. And Catherine mentioned, you know, the public-private partnerships. I think what, you know, always strikes us each year is seeing that next generation coming up, and we'll eventually get to the private-public realm, but right now just seeing that next generation of people giving back, and that's what we have this year in Bella Matthews. Bella was just 8 years old when she saw a news story about people that were hungry around Thanksgiving. Sounds very familiar and certainly caught our attention. Grew up just right next door to us over in Dedham. And over the years, she took that small drive, and it's grown every year since. Last year, donated over 5,000 pounds worth of food to the food bank, and this year, shooting for 7,000 pounds. The food drive's already started. I saw the Facebook post. It's off and running, and you know, with everyone's support here, with the support of neighboring towns and schools, I'm sure she's going to hit that number. So we're very excited, very honored to congratulate Bella this year. Bella, come on up. Congratulations.
Dan, if you could. We're going to do a quick picture. Bella will take that off for you. There you go. Okay. I'll hold this for you, and I'll hold that for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good morning. I'm honored to be standing in front of you all today accepting this award. Never in my life did I think my charitable efforts would ever come this far. There are a few people that I would like to thank today for making this possible. First, I would like to thank my mom, dad, and brother. From the countless nights sorting to early morning deliveries, I could not be more grateful. I would like to thank my two best friends for being here with me today and supporting me every day. I would like to thank everyone at the Greater Boston Food Bank for the excellent teamwork over the past few years. And finally, I would like to thank everyone who has played a role in ending hunger with me. Without you, I wouldn't have the privilege of standing in front of you today. Thank you.
So why don't you go with Danny? That'd be great. It's very good to see young people embrace this cause and do something about it. So I've always said if a young person gets it, we should be able to get it. It's a simple solution. Thanks to Dan and Betsy, and again, thank you, Bella. And I know our treasurer has made it, so Deb, thank you for joining us as well this morning. We're going to get you to, did you run? I know, all kinds of good stuff. All right, so you inspire us, sir. And more is here too. And our Attorney General is here too. So we got the Attorney General, the Treasurer, we got it all. So I'm convinced, Mayor Burke, if you come and join this team along with our other mayors and our city councilors, I again believe we can end hunger right here in Massachusetts, given all of this array of support from constitutional officers to elected officials. So it's very possible. So in a few minutes now, we're going to line up and we're going to create that powerful chain, that human chain, to unload a truck and to move it into the freezers here. And together, we hope that you'll experience that power of collective action by working together to help ensure that thousands of struggling families in need throughout Eastern Mass get that Thanksgiving meal with all the resources and food, all the Massachusetts grown produce and Massachusetts foods. So I have to give you some instructions. So here, just listen up. Hopefully you all have gloves. If you don't have gloves, we'll make sure the turkeys are frozen, cold, and heavy. So we want to make sure that you're okay there. We're going to ask you to be respectful of the blue tape that's been outlined on the floor. And you will see, in essence, for some of our officials, we do have their names there, so please to be respectful of where they're standing as well. And if we're going to sound a horn, we're going to ask you to line up, and then we'll actually sound a horn. The music will go on very loud, and it takes about 15 minutes. So I'm going to ask you to be respectful of each other, begin to form a line. GBFB staff will help you get it in order, and when that last turkey leaves the truck, we'll sound the horn again. So please go ahead and get into line.